distinguished guests on the dais, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I'd like to thank Jamia for having invited me to participate in the 105th Foundation Day commemoration. Seeing such an impressive audience on a Sunday morning, I'm truly delighted, and I'm not surprised one bit when I heard from the Vice Chancellor that Jamia has been voted as ranked as the #1 university in India. And my heartiest congratulations to the Jamia management, faculty and students. Now, I've been asked to talk about Indian culture, cultural connect. It's a very complex topic. What is Indian culture? And as Kidwai Sahab very succinctly put, it is the Indian way, the way of life. Everything that we consider as part of our life, whether it is performing arts or the kind of cuisine that we have, our arts, our entertainment, and more particularly the values that we hold. Everything together forms part of Indian culture. I think when we try to understand Indian culture, the most important aspect is the assimilative process. We have enriched, the Indian culture has enriched itself by foreign exposure to foreign influences, to foreign cultures from time to time. So I think, it is something that has made our culture very rich and vibrant. While we take great pride in the values which have been bequeathed to us from Vedas, we also take great pride in the things that we have come to our culture, our way of life, from Afghanistan, from Mongolia, and from Russia. So I think it is important to be bold enough and secure in not only taking pride in what we have, our composite culture, but in accepting and celebrating this richness and its breadth. Now, talked about Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, and I'll come back to Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam a little later. When we talk about the Indian culture, now you find that there is a lot of admiration for it in the West, in the world. The world is beginning to look at Indian culture. The point to remember here is that our culture was the same in the 60s and the 70s. In the 1960s and 70s, nobody took notice of us. So how is it that people have suddenly begun to take notice of Indian culture? And I think the important conclusion that one can derive is that somehow what we regard as soft power has inherent connection with its strength. So, it's not about rhetorics that we can create harmony and we can create peace and love. Peace and love comes only from strength. So I think its strength is inherent in whatever we do. Both military strength and the economic strength. So I think this is something that we have to bear in mind. And when we talk about projecting India on the world stage, I think it is also important to bear in mind that we have to continually invest in strengthening ourselves. So I think that will remain with us. The powerful source for cultural connect is the spread of diaspora. And India has been particularly blessed in this respect because we have about 33 million strong diaspora. If you added, there is a group of people called Roma, and and they are believed to have left India about 1,000 years ago and spread all over Central Europe. There are DNA similarities between them and people in India. There are linguistic similarities, cultural similarities. So if you added 25 million of those people, we, the Bharatvanshis abroad, what you call Indian diaspora abroad, roughly constitutes about 60 million people, which is a very large number. I think it is the largest diaspora of any particular ethnicity. So that lends it a particular strength, because when you talk about the spread of Indian culture, when you talk about the spread of Indian values, I think the first medium is through the Indian diaspora. A lot of people who have not heard anything about Indian culture, they seem to have some idea of what the Indian culture, what the Indian way of life is, through the people of Indian origin. I think they can play a very significant role in promoting and propagating Indian culture. In my experience, I've seen that they've been doing, they're whatever countries they've gone to, the Girmitia diaspora in Caribbean, Fiji and Mauritius, they have adopted their respective countries and they are totally committed to those countries, those adopted countries. But in some corner of their heart, they have emotional attachment with India. So they are deeply wedded to the Indian culture. And in their own